Hi guys, so this is going to be a reading for the Divine Feminines. It's for those who are recognising that they're in a twin flame dynamic. It isn't going to resonate for everybody because it's still a general reading. It's also not gender nor zodiac specific. As always, please always use your own discernment. The intent here is to basically help the Divine Feminines to navigate the energies that are currently around them at this time. The same rules apply for my general reads as well. I cannot censor, choose, nor control what is coming out of the cards. I am literally just reading them. It's up to you what you decide to do with it. You do have free will, okay? Tarot is not in charge here. You are. For everything else, please do read the descriptions box. Okay, so let's get into your reading for you Divine Feminines, and I'm going to start by taking a look at the strongest energy that is currently around you at this time. It's Divine Feminine, please. Thank you. Okay, Gaia's Garden. Nice. So this card is all about fruition, abundance, and reaping what you sow. There's a bit of a cornucopia energies with this particular card. On a personal level, it's showing me that that you have evolved and that you're coming into your own confidence. There's a newfound confidence to your abilities, and you're carrying yourself a lot differently than what you have been. So your confidence is really showing, basically. There's something here about a recent success, and of course if that's not happened yet, then a success is imminent with this particular card. In this card I can see there's a light here, and it's not on her forehead, it's actually on her head, and that is indicating the crown chakra. So the crown chakra deals with the right to know. It's pertaining to issues of understanding, knowing, bliss and oneness. It's the cosmic energies, and it can be blocked by ego attachment, right? So with that, indicating that your crown chakra is opening, there has definitely been a release of the ego attachment to your twin flame connection. You've gained a better understanding of the way that your connection is working, a better understanding of the twin flame dynamic. And it's basically, I'm seeing here, you have become comfortable with the death of your ego. Right, there's definitely more a feeling of oneness with yourself, and that is going to help you in leaps and bounds with your journey, with you advancing on your twin flame journey. Okay, so that's a nice, gentle way to begin your reading. So I'm going to start pulling your tarot, and we'll see if we can get any deeper into this for you. This is the Divine Feminine's energy, please. It's the Divine Feminine's energy, please. Okay. Right, so your first card out, the Page of Swords, it's air energy. It's all about knowledge, advancement. It can be keeping tabs on someone or something as well. The Five of Wands is Leo energy. Okay, so that's conflict, competition, arguments, disagreements, push and pull. Okay, and the Seven of Swords, Aquarian energy. Right, so, okay, Divine Feminines, this is really important. Be mindful about what it is that you're reacting to at the moment, okay, because potentially you could see yourself being set back on your progress here. right? With your Page of Swords, your Five of Wands and your Seven of Swords, don't play into anyone who is trying to get a reaction out of you. This, I'm seeing, is a bit of a test. It's someone who is testing your patience. It's someone who is demanding your time, your attention. It is a test to see how far you've progressed on your journey, on your healing journey. So if you find that you're still being triggered, then there is still something that is needing worked on, basically. Because if you can still be triggered, then you can still be manipulated, right? So pay attention to exactly what you're reacting to, and more importantly, pay attention how you're reacting. Are you reacting with anger? Are you being reactive, or are you taking a step back, analysing the situation and then figuring out what to do? Is there a knee-jerk reaction here that is still your go-to, right? With the Page of Swords, it's imperative that you keep to your lane at the moment, because that could be a distraction. If you're constantly worried about what's going to happen in your twin flame connection, it's going to cause you a distraction, and it's going to distract you from the work that you need to do. Why is the Page of Swords here, please? Okay, thank you. The Two of Swords, Libra energy. So yeah, you're definitely feeling stuck here. The connection is playing on your mind again. It's like you were doing so well and you were moving forward with your progression, and you were doing so well with your healing and your inner work. You were focused for a long time on your spiritual journey. You managed to take the person out of the equation. That's your counterpart. You managed to take them out of the equation and to focus on the soul work, the soul journey, the soul growth, everything to do with that. And then all of a sudden, something has triggered you back into being focused on them as a person. It's that there is a temporary setback here that I can see in your energy. Why is the Five of Wands here, please, for Divine Feminine? Thank you. The Hermit, Virgo energy, introspection. Yeah. Again, be mindful about what it is that you're reacting to. Why is the Seven of Swords here, please? Take some time away to process your feelings and your emotions. The Emperor, yeah, divine masculine energies. Okay, so for some of you, you could have recently discovered a misdemeanor that the divine masculine has done, and it's spun you off your axis a little bit. Can you further clarify the Seven of Swords and the Emperor, please? Okay, the Ten of Swords, Gemini energy, and the Seven of Swords. Again, Seven of Swords, Aquarian energy. It's not great. Seven of Swords is really not great energy. It can be lies, deceit, lying through omission. It can be you feeling that this situation has just wasted your time. There's a painful ending and a feeling of being betrayed here as well. So your divine masculine, with you finding something out, or with a fresh hurt that they have caused through something that they have done, it's really knocked you back. It's like for some of you, you could have found out something that they were keeping hidden, and it felt like a betrayal. The point here, Divine Feminine, is you're going to have to take your counterpart out of the equation. You have to. Because the journey is all about your soul's growth, your soul's journey. If there's too much focus on the individual, then it is going to cause too many setbacks. The outside influences affecting Divine Feminines, please. Thank you. The Eight of Coins. A work situation. The Eight of Coins is Virgo energy, so that is it's all about working hard, perfecting your craft, paying attention to the details. It can be a perfectionist as well, so keep your standards high, maintain your high standards. And there's something about your workplace. Okay, Temperance, that's Sagittarius energy, and the Nine of Wands. Sagittarius again. Okay, so there needs to be a balancing out, right? This betrayal that you've discovered, that this recent trigger that has thrown you back into being uncertain of yourself, uncertain of the connection, uncertain of what direction it's going to go in. It's like whenever you think about them now, your defenses immediately go up, and you're telling yourself, that's it, I'm done, I'm never speaking to them again, I'm never letting them near me ever again, it's finished, this has been the last straw, basically. They're saying here, with your Temperance cards, that's all about divine timing, right? So things are not progressing as quickly as you would like, and it's causing you additional frustrations on top of everything else. So they're saying here that we're not working by our time, we're working by divine timing, right? Everything's got its time and its place, and right now there's just too much here that's going on for this to be brought in. So the best thing that you can do right now is Eight of Coins. Focus on your career, focus on your finances, focus on building yourself up, focus on building up your confidence as well. Because remember, your first card out is Gaia's garden, you reaping what you sow. So if you're heavily focused on your path and your spiritual growth, your spiritual healing, then that is what you're going to reap the rewards of. At the moment, there is still far too much emphasis that is being put on the divine masculine, too much emphasis on what they may or may not be doing, who they may or may not be doing it with, and there's just too much emphasis on them. So you need to really make a concerted effort here on pulling your energies away from the divine masculine and putting it back into yourself. There definitely needs to be more focus put on you. For a long time you were doing so well, and this is 2 steps forward, 1 step back, okay? It's nothing to worry about, providing that you're mindful when it's happening, so that you can reel it back in again before it becomes a repeating pattern. I am concerned about this Nine of Wands, so I'm just going to clarify this one. There's the Nine of Wands here, please, for the outside influences. I'm feeling with this Nine of Wands that you feel your divine masculine is pushing you away, King of Coins, yeah, Taurus energy. For me as a reader, that is the level right before the Emperor stage, and the Six of Cups, Scorpion energy. Recognizing a soulmate in another, someone from your past or from a past life. In this particular read, it's someone from your past life. A reconciliation. And it's nice that we've got the Temperance here, because that indicates that where a reconciliation is required, then the atmosphere for that reconciliation is actually receptive. So personal boundaries are a must. However, avoid closing off your heart completely, because when the Divine Masculine does come back in to have a reconciliation with you, you don't want to accidentally push them away by coming off as too cold and uncaring. All right. Remember, it's all about unconditional love. And unconditional love does not mean that you have to surrender your own personal boundaries, because it's unconditional love for yourself first and foremost. It's loving someone from a distance without it taking over your life, right? So avoid being too restrictive when they do come back in. You are upset. You're quite within your rights to be upset. There needs to be a moment of just getting yourself into the headspace of just be and listen. Listen to what they have to say. You don't have to react, because remember, I told you at the start, be mindful of what it is that you're reacting to, and be mindful of how you're reacting as well. So listen, take it in, take a couple of steps back, think it through by yourself, and then you can say your piece from that point on. Because if this isn't carefully managed, then it's going to cause further drama, it's going to cause further mess. You do definitely feel that your counterpart has been pushing you away. And the reason that they have been pushing you away is because they are dealing with a lot at the moment. They haven't intentionally pushed you away. It's just been an unfortunate byproduct of them needing to deal with their stuff. And if you watch the Divine Masculine reading that I've just done, then it should become a lot more clearer to you. I'm trying to avoid putting too much emphasis on them in your read, because my intention for this read is it's all about you. It has come up really heavily in your read though, even though that wasn't my intention. The reason behind that is because you are putting a lot of focus on them. So it's coming out in your read. You're getting distracted by them, and potentially it's caused you to go backwards, potentially. Okay. The connection for your counterpart is still very much in their heart. Let's see the outcome of this, please, for Divine Feminine. Let's see the outcome of this for Divine Feminine, please. Okay. Eight of Cups, it's Pisces energy. The Six of Cups is Scorpion. I have one more for the outcome. Thank you. And the Sun, yeah, can be Leo energy with the Sun. Right, this is showing me that your outcome, your short-term outcome, Divine Feminine, is your Divine Masculine. They are coming back round towards you, right? Please do not let this read distract you from the path that you're supposed to be on, because then the opposite of what I'm trying to achieve through these readings would have happened. I'm trying to help as many twin flames as possible on their journey, to make it as much of a smooth ride as possible, because it's such a difficult connection, right? I don't want anyone getting distracted or stuck. So even though the Divine Masculine is making their way back towards you, Divine Feminine, they fully intend on reconciling the situation with you, and I'm seeing that they are going to be explaining everything that they have had to work through as well. It's not been an easy ride for them either, not by a long shot, right? And I'm seeing that there is going to be a brand new beginning to this particular connection with your Sun energy. Your blockage, the Hierophant, Taurus energy. While that's usually a card about religions, spirituality and commitments, I'm feeling this particular Hierophant as a teacher, lessons. So your counterpart has been going through a lot of really difficult lessons that has taken them away from you temporarily. Now, please do bear in mind that it's not unusual for twin flames to have a moment of separation, and it's a very necessary separation so that you can both go through your dark nights of the souls by yourself, because you need to figure out your soul's path outside of the connection, and then it comes back in. Okay, and that's for the very rare ones where a union is actually possible, because a union isn't always going to happen. A union is not the be-all and end-all. The twin flame connection is all about being triggered into your true life purpose. That is the point of a twin flame, is a catalyst to your spiritual ascension, healing, really deep inner healing. So there is still a lesson here that is a blockage with this Hierophant. It's like the words are going in, and for a while you can manage it, but then after some time your thoughts come streaming back straight about your Divine Masculine, instead of you being focused consistently on yourself. And under there, the Ten of Wands, yeah. Sagittarian energy, it's a burden. This lesson that's still not gone through is a burden. And the Lovers, Gemini energy, yeah, too much focus on the union. Okay. It's really difficult because with you being very empathic, you can feel energies, and you can feel the energies of your Divine Masculine coming back towards you. And it's that has triggered your thoughts to be constantly about them all over again, because you're feeling that energy of them returning. So if you can, remain on track. Get back to your spiritual journey. The return of Aphrodite. Temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, entreating as sacred, allure and magnetic appeal, sensual desires, laughter and delight. Yeah, with this return of the Aphrodite, this is a card about transformation, And with her holding that giant golden key as well, and then the dove on her hands, it's like peace is going to be restored once again. There's definitely this unlearned lesson about the twin flame connection. It's not about the individual, it's about the soul. This card also indicates that it doesn't matter how hard your counterpart tries, they cannot pull themselves away from you for too long. They always come back. Have a look at the love energies, please, around Divine Feminine. Okay, worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Yeah. Everything is in divine timing. Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Okay, so there is going to be an opportunity for you to work on the partnership. Unrequited love. That's funny because that came out in their read as well. And it came out in the DMs read as a fear. So you feel that this connection is one-sided. Well, they were feeling that it was one-sided as well, and religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. Okay, so Divine Feminine. Either you feel or your counterpart feels that you're not going to be accepted because of your different belief systems. It's showing here that nobody is going to get rejected because of their spiritual path or their religious path, and nobody has to surrender that part of who they are for this connection either. That's not going to be a thing. That's someone's fear that they're going to be rejected because of their beliefs. Some love energies around Divine Feminine. Thank you. Romance, Cupid's arrow strikes. So yeah, there is love here. Embrace through each other. You find the missing pieces. Forgiveness. Stop focusing your energies on past events, for life is too precious to waste. You create your reality by what you think, dream and imagine. And you may not always understand why certain things happen. However, there's always a higher purpose to the events in your life. Through turmoil, a blessing will soon be revealed. And look inside yourself. Examine what is causing you to feel this way. So whoever feels that they're going to be rejected because of their beliefs, take a closer look as to why you think your beliefs would be an issue. With your card here about your higher purpose, this separation was very, very necessary. Because during that downtime, that is a chance for both counterparts to work on themselves outside of the connection. Because if it were to come into union straight away, that would be really, really disastrous. What does Divine Masculine want to tell Divine Feminine, please? Thank you. I can't stop thinking about you. So there we go. That's another thing that's very mutual about this. This is why you have been catapulted seemingly back to square one with this situation. Because you felt them coming in towards you. You have felt them thinking about you. And that's why your thoughts have gone straight back to them. You feel as if you've gone right back to square one. So if you could get back on top of that and be mindful about your spiritual journey, remember to take the person out of the equation and to focus on the souls. But it explains why you feel that you've taken all of these steps backwards. Okay, my heart and soul yearn for you. And there are lessons that I still need to go through. Yeah, there. Mind how I said that that was about lessons. It was a teacher. There's still something that is not quite gone through yet on both sides, by the way, not just on one, on both. And then under there, I'm afraid to face you because of what you might say or how you will react. So your counterpart thinks that you could still be holding some kind of resentment towards them, especially if they can feel that coming from you. The Nine of Wands. Remember, you're dealing with an energetic connection, right? Everything is about the energies. Everything. What does Divine Feminine need to focus on, please, at this time? Thank you. Inner peace. Okay, so your focus is clearing your past or your ancient trauma, physical, mental and spiritual practices, and loving the inner child. The inner child work, it did come up for your counterpart as well. So stay on track with your spiritual journey. Stay on track being focused on you. I'm starting to sound like a broken record here, but it is absolutely coming out in your read. Don't worry so much about what they're doing and stay focused on what you're doing, especially with that as well. You're about to see the rewards of your hard work through your abundance. So Divine Feminine, please. Thank you. The Blood Dance. Experiencing a phase of feeling cut off from yourself, from your body or another individual, or from the divine. Be reassured that this is temporary and soon all connection will return. Yeah, you were worrying because for a long time you couldn't feel your counterpart, and then all of a sudden, completely out of the blue, they're occupying your thoughts again. They're occupying your energy field again. All of a sudden. So what you're currently going through is normal for your twin flame journey, right? Be reassured that your situation is very, very temporary. Soon all connection will return. That includes the connection with your counterpart. It's for Divine Feminine, please. Thank you. Okay. Right. Activated Earth, power places, ley lines, trust where you're being led, divinely guided to follow your spiritual path. Yeah. Trust in the messages that you're receiving at this time. Trusting in your intuition and trusting that you know that you're on the right path. Even though more recently you feel that you've been cut off from your counterpart, you feel that you've been, that you somehow lost the connection, this, that and the next. A twin flame, a true twin flame, it's not a connection that you're ever going to be separated from. Yes, you might be separated physically, but then you need to remember what a twin flame is. Heareth, longing for home, homesick for the stars, never feeling completely at home, and committing fully to the here and now. So your focus is on the here and now. The focus is on what you're doing. The focus is on you clearing out your past, working through your traumas, and temporarily putting this situation in a corner somewhere. You can always go back to it, but it's temporarily putting the burden of that connection down so that you can free up your energies to focus on yourself again. This is a wobble that I'm seeing in this read. Perspective, finding common ground, avoid petty distractions. None of this matters. Zoom out and find the common ground. Stepping back and looking at the bigger picture, stepping away from having blinkered vision. A new perspective is needed. So yeah, if you're struggling to get your counterpart off your mind, and if you're struggling to focus on yourself, again, it's just a matter of changing your perspective. All this read is pertaining to is someone is literally just needing a reminder about take the person out of the equation, and that is it. It's like you were doing so well for such a long time, and then all of a sudden you've become really confused again. Don't come down too hard on yourself. It's perfectly normal, especially in a twin flame connection where you're already dealing with really intense energies anyway. It's for Divine Feminine, please. Thank you. Okay. So you've got number 23, purification. And it says, cleanse your environment and your personal space. Okay, so I always say with these cards, you get 3 messages. Your first message comes from the creator of the deck. Your second message comes from your own intuition while you're looking at the card. And then your third message comes from your reader and their intuition. So it says, cleanse your environment and personal space. Water is deeply cleansing and purifying, which is why it's used in symbolic practices throughout the world. Water is the universal life force and the symbol of purity and fertility. Often seen as life itself, without water we wouldn't be able to exist in our physical form. Water sustains all life on earth. Water cleanses, quenches thirst and refreshes all living systems. Purification as a symbolic practice brings us closer to our divine self and celestial and heavenly beings. Sacred traditions and practices wash away impurities from the soul and pollutants from the physical body. Purity allows us to see and hear the voice of truth, and it keeps our ego self in check. Right now, your body, mind and spirit need to be purified. Clear unwanted energies by focusing on emotional balance. Eat clean, nutritious food. Now is the time to open your heart and soul to release any old trauma, pain or emotional wounds, sufferings or regrets that you're carrying in your spiritual backpack. Like a universal baptism, you're able to release these old energies and liberate your soul and mind from old beliefs and physical restraints. Cleansing of your physical space is required now. Call on your angelic or spiritual helpers to assist you energetically with this task at home, work or socially. Clean your home environment or workspace. Remove or donate any outdated or unwanted items, clearing old, stagnant energies. Water is a conduit for clear channeling and spirit communication. You may be feeling disconnected from spirit or from your higher self. Spend time around running water, such as lakes, waterfalls or streams to purify your mind, and treat yourself to a spa therapy or therapeutic baths to reset your senses. Be mindful during the moments that you choose to spend time in and around water. Your observations and impressions will give you great insight into your current emotions. And the positive affirmation that comes with this card is, I purify my soul, I release burdens and expectations of choices. I am free to make my own decisions with love and confidence. Okay, so you might have felt, as we've had the message now a couple of times in your read, you might have felt disconnected from your spiritual path. You might have felt disconnected from your spiritual guides. It's almost as if everything's gone quiet. It's gone too quiet. And the reason behind the quietness is a very good reason. It's because things are being balanced out. There is still a lot of things that's going on behind the veil that we're not aware of. Okay, so it's having faith that whatever happens next, you are going to be just fine. You're going to be absolutely perfect. This is very, very temporary, and very soon you're going to feel that you're back to your journey. You're progressing again nicely. As I've said all the way through this read, this is just a temporary confusion, like a temporary pause. It's usually the quiet before the storm as well. That's what I'm seeing here in your read. It's for Divine Feminine, thank you. The blessing of faith. The universe is testing you. Will you be faithful and true to yourself? Be courageous, for you are supported by a divine ocean of love. You are gifted at this time with the blessing of a strong faith that will see you through the present challenges. Yeah. It's not having faith that everything's going to turn out fine. It's having faith that you are going to be fine regardless of what happens next. I'm telling you, Divine Feminines, this is the quiet before the storm. You are going to have a lot to deal with very, very shortly, because your divine counterpart, they're making tracks back towards you, which is why everything's gone suddenly quiet. They're making tracks back towards you. They would like to have a conversation with you, and you don't have to react, you just have to listen. And here's the thing, will you listen? Or will you ice them out? Really interesting read. Yeah, to be honest with you, Divine Feminines, I wouldn't worry too much about this temporary disconnection. I really, really wouldn't. That's what usually happens right before you go up to the next level anyway. You usually do get that sort of quiet moment where you haven't heard your guides for ages, you haven't felt something in a while, and then all of a sudden, boom, it's there. So I would take this quiet moment to relax and to meditate and to do something nice for yourself. I really, really would. I've seen this happen before, and it's usually right before something life-changing kicks in as well. So that's why it's even more important that you keep that self-belief, that you keep telling yourself that you're on the right track. This is just temporary. Okay, so that is what I have for you, Divine Feminines. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, then the link to do so is in the descriptions box and it's in the pinned comments below. Thank you so much for watching. Have a lovely, lovely week, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.